I just came to the conclusion that I be going to different states to do shit.
I love it.
Like work-wise.
I think you need to take vacations while you're there, too.
I'm going to Cancun. My mom paid for it. My mom told me, my sister told me today, she was like, are you ready for our trip? And I was like, did mommy pay for it? And she was like, yeah, girl, she already paid for it. So we out. All-inclusive resort, Cancun.
When I was trying to, like...
throughout the week.
Remember you told me about, like, the Jamaica trip and it being cheap and stuff? And I was just like, oh, yeah. So I went to the website. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, it's cheaper to go to Cancun. And then you told me about Cancun, and I was like, fuck, she's not trying to go there twice.
No, I'm willing to go there twice.
Be fine,
and shout out to, listen, I'm giving everybody their flowers with the pot, right? Shout out to Jasmine from Sincere Getaways, because that's what we found the trip through. So shout out to her for being an amazing travel agent. She's actually doing a giveaway on her page. By the time this comes out, the giveaway will probably be over, but that's beside the point. Make sure you follow her, Sincere Travels, and then she also has a pod called Travel Fly Sexy, I believe. So check out her and her co-host. I don't remember her co-host name, but shout out to them because they've actually made the idea of like international travel sound a lot less expensive, right? For sure. Because we see them do it, and I'm like, how the fuck are you affording this?
Definitely, like, if people are for sure booking through them, I know I'm gonna see other black people. And
for sure,
100%.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, and shout out to, and I know this might sound like dick eating, but I don't care. Shout out to Lauren Lionel. And I say that because our editing style for the first couple episodes was a lot like similar to what they were doing. And just in general, like black independent pods, it really takes a lot to do this, right? And I think when you see two other successful black people doing it, whether it be male or female, we've also been to their live shows. Yeah, we've been supporting them before this show. So I won't say that that was a huge inspiration because we've been podding before then. Yeah, but
the style,
as far as marketing and shit,
other people's style, I always go back to them.
Yes.
And I be like...
because it's successful. It shows you that... and not to sound crazy, but when you put in enough effort...
white people, because they could have got it from somebody white, and I would never know, because I don't really be watching them like that.
But to see them put in the effort that they've put in as far as consistency is concerned, and not really worried about like the aesthetics and shit around it, and still remaining themselves, knowing that they've been successful in that, like being featured in magazines, I feel like a lot of our... aspirations as far as accomplishments are concerned are a lot similar. So to see somebody doing it and already be successful behind it,
slight goalpost
for sure. And having started this pod, especially to like collaborate, like I said, we're not trying to dicky. It's just
I would like to collaborate with a lot of different black podcasts
for sure. Not just them like in this area. So like DC, Virginia, Maryland, DMV, Philly, Jersey. And there's pods that we don't even know about. So like if y'all want to collaborate, definitely let us know. Because we will hop in the car and be out.
I don't mind hopping in the car.
First of all, so now I'm giving you your flowers with the pot. Because you have been the most consistent like traveling buddy for me. In the time that I've known you, you've just always been down. Yes, but you've always been down to be like, you want to share the driving, or like, do you need money for gas? Like, it's so easy to travel with you, and I'm just thankful to have you as a friend and as a travel buddy.
I just, growing up, me and my aunt would go to the Eastern Shore a lot. Okay. And of course, I wasn't old enough to drive, but she taught me a lot about like passenger etiquette. Yeah. Stay up. Yeah. Change the music. Yeah. Fix the whatever.
You will grab a snack from the back for sure. Yeah. Yes.
And it's like, driving kind of long with other people too. Yeah. It's like now with driving with people that smoke, I just be like, so I need to roll up something, like, or you need this, like, you need a little hydration. So yeah.
No, I appreciate you. 100%. You ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the Jaded and Evolving podcast.
What it do?
I am your hostess, Christian. I have to really get used to saying it.
Why?
Follow me at DEMCHAKRAS because I'm so used to going by them chakras, like on anything.
And then people are going to be like, Miss Dem Chakras, and you're going to be like,
who?
The fuck?
Who is this woman?
Even before you, I feel like you would be like, why do you feel like that's even a name?
Yeah, I don't.
That's weird.
It became an alias for me. It started as a username, but it became an alias when people could not remember that my name was Christian. So I attending event. Shout out to Nicole who throws the podcast awards. The last time we went was 2019. She's then stopped since then. But when I walked into every room, I wasn't Christian to those people. I was Dem Chakras. Yeah. So I just kind of went with it, and it's always been a thing, like partnering with other people, even when they email me.
Slowly
It is.
Move it from this part.
It's what is it doing? It's like scooting down to my titties.
This needs to be tighter.
Oh,
so you gotta like make sure that's twisted. Yeah.
All right, bet. And then
the big dial. No.
Yeah. This one.
That.
You want me to lower it?
No, lift it a little. Nope. Yeah. There we go.
This is why she's tech savvy.
Down a little bit.
She's tech savvy.
If you need to move it up, that's fine.
No, I need to move it. There we go. That's perfect. See, this is why you're the techie, and I'm just the entertainment. I'm just here.
It's the ADHD.
I'm just here. I'm here to sell tickets. Shake a little ass. Oh my god! All right, before we get started, first, introduce yourself. We everywhere.
I am Natasha.
I have to show you this ghetto ass Airbnb.
Natasha Soul _. I sounded so congested. Underscore.
You sound like one of them badass kids. You got games on your phone?
You got games? I got videos like that in my phone where I'm like asking this man, like, you got games on your phone? What you playing? You doing poker? That's the devil sport.
I don't know how to play. Look at this ghetto ass Airbnb. This is our Airbnb for Atlanta. I literally texted Brittany back. I was like, I said, ski. Fucking who?
I don't know. It looked like you were fucking there.
I hope. Listen, all I'm hoping is that my friends get some dick that weekend, and then I can sit and watch. That's all I care about. I just trying to be a good friend. I'm into the voyeurism exhibition over here.
But anyway, yes, yeah. I am Natasha. You can follow me at Natasha Soul _ on Instagram and of course Threads. I don't put anything on there. I just like reposting people's stuff like I do on Instagram because. Yeah.
She said you'll never find that Twitter.
You'll never find it.
Welcome to the pussy episode.
You gotta share that Finsta with me. I thought about that.
Shit, I didn't think about it. All right, I'm gonna share it before we leave today. Shout out to the pussy episode. Are we naming this the pussy episode? The vagina episode?
The vajaj.
Let's be politically correct. Let's get right into it. What word do you prefer when speaking about your vagina? Coochie? I like coochie. Shout out to Juice. I got that from, I used to watch this pod called, oh my God, it's slipping from my brain. It was a grown folks podcast. Sex with Strangers, a grown folks podcast. Shout out to Juice, C, and Jackson. All have like gone on to do other things. They were potting for a while, very successful when I first started my podcast career, but they all do like separate things now, still within like entertainment.
For sure.
I love all of them, but Juice calls it a coochie. So shout out to Juice. I've started
calling it a little bit since
coochie. Like the guava sodas, the Jarritos. Yeah. Pussy. It tastes just like. I'm gonna get you one. It tastes just like pussy. When you put it in your mouth, you go, "That's pussy." It is, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a coochie person myself. What's the journey been like with your? Listen, I'm done with asking these fucking interview questions. Let's talk about it. Did you ever talk? Did you ever talk about your vagina? Like, how did you become aware that your pussy was, I don't want to say good, but how did you become aware of the fact that like this thing is utilized for more than just like peeing and bleeding and sex? Like, how did you find the like power, I guess, behind your vagina?
Okay, because I was about to say, if you talking about like it being a like sexual tool,
I mean that too, but I guess in general.
I've been through some trauma. Yeah. But past that. Yeah. I don't even remember that shit.
So I mean, no, from both perspectives, because I feel like every black woman or every little black girl goes through the traumatic experience with her vagina, whether it be her cycle, trigger warning, sexual assault, things of that nature. But we also have that moment of empowerment at some point in our life. And it's not always positive. Sometimes that's deeply rooted in trauma. But I think having a relationship with your vagina is really important. So when did you, I guess, learn the importance of your pussy is probably the better question.
The importance of it, I learned it through others, to be honest. Growing up.
Yeah, elaborate on that. What? I am so.
This is about to be so like normal.
Okay.
And you're about to be like,
oh, okay. Cause what?
Before I had a period, and my mom and dad were still married, and my older sister was still in the house. When my dad wasn't in the house, of course, everybody peed with the door open.
Oh, okay.
So I would see my mom like put a tampon in or do her period stuff.
Yeah.
Never saw any blood because I wasn't looking that close. But I would just see her with the tampon, and I'd be like
digging in there. You like, the fuck are you
not
doing?
even digging in there. I would just see her
like,
pull the tampon out, and I'd be like,
oh, and then drop it. Yeah.
I would be like
the fuck is you? Yeah. What are you getting out of there?
Right. Yeah. So later on in middle school, when my period finally came on, I was just like,
how old were you?
This is a thing. Probably 11.
I was 11 too.
Yeah.
Yep. When I got my first period, I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you learn like the existence. So like, when did you learn like the importance of your pussy specifically?
It was a little bit before that, probably, because
a little bit before you were 11. Yes. You are a wise woman.
Trigger warning. Apparently, I don't remember, but I was molested at daycare.
Wow.
So I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
But I do attribute me being a more sexual being
to
that.
That hypersexual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on TV late night when you would have like the TV on and stuff, like random stuff would come on and I would just be watching it and like I would turn it off when my parents, like I knew I wasn't supposed to be watching this random ass people booties and bulges out and shit on the TV.
Really though? Because I really think that sex is so normal.
No, because I was like, people are naked.
I think it's normal. I started because I was on that same kind of like path. I'm very thankful, and I know that it's not the story of every black woman. I'm very thankful that I've never gone through, sexual assault or molestation. I'm very thankful for that. But I don't discredit anybody's experience or think about that it's not important. Yeah. I was a sexual person, or a sexual child, but out of curiosity. Yeah. So, like, I saw, like, when we got to click back from each channel, it was because they were naked. Like, why are you sticking your thing in this lady? And why is she making these faces? Right. Like, what is this? Yeah. And then over time, I found myself getting warm on the inside, not knowing that it was arousal, but I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I think and then maybe a couple years after that, I lost my virginity at 13, but I didn't start masturbating until I was maybe like, because I think I started masturbating around the time I was like 8, kind of like scooching back and forth, but actually masturbating, understanding that like I was trying to reach an orgasm, I was probably like 14, because I had my first orgasm very young.
Same.
Like very young. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know why I was feeling that way, but...
Well, yeah, the hunching, as they like to call it. And I feel like I told you this story. My mom had the back massager.
No, wait, what?
Had the... back in the days, the big old back massager with the 2 thingies on it. And, like, for some reason, I was like... I put my hand on and I was like... Yeah, I'm going to take this. I was probably still around, like... 11, 12 when I did that because they were divorced by then. So I was like 11, 12 when I would stay with my mom over the weekend and she would still be going to work and shit. So why am I even coming over your house?
The amount of masturbating.
I love you, but you definitely left me in that house by myself. But and there was a lot of exploration going on.
That's crazy.
At that time.
Because growing up, right, like my aunt, I'm gonna get ready to tell on myself. My great aunt, I used to stay with her on the weekends, and the guy that I was dating at the time, my great aunt, yeah, but
she's not paying you no mind.
She like 62 now, so she's really not all that old, like But she would go to like birthday parties and shit, and leave me and my boyfriend at the time in the house together. We would be fucking, you hear me, like hunching, like real life. Still having my shirt on and shit, because not fully confident in my body, but would be down that bitch. Stinking, you hear me? Like, I didn't
have sex. I didn't have vaginal sex intercourse until after I graduated high school.
Really?
Yeah, I was just getting head. One of my exes was upset, and I found this out from one of his friends. He was just like, "Yeah, he went back to such and such because he said that you wasn't trying to give him your virginity. And I was just like, we never had that fucking conversation. So I don't know where the fuck that came from. But if he had a problem because we tried and it didn't work, I was just like, this shit hurts.
Yo.
I lost my virginity on top. That's my favorite position ever since then.
Really?
I
lost my virginity.
I be riding that
dirt. Period. I lost my virginity like laying down, but most of the sex was on top. I remember having like my legs straddled over the recliner, kind of like on some Juno shit, and just riding dick for a while too.
I think it's also because I have my uterus leans back, so that's like a more like
comfortable.
I can get in.
I think I have to get. I have to go back to my gynecologist because I have endometriosis. I have to get checked every couple of years. But I honestly believe that there is something about my uterus or my pelvis that is different, because when I'm fucked on an angle, it feels way better. And I know
is
this.
That with every partner you've had sex with, or just?
I don't know. I know that my partner now has always just been really aware of my body. So body cues to him are important. He be fucking to that left, and it just start gushing back, and he's like, "That's I got her. I'm in there."
I was only gonna say that because I'm just like, maybe his dick has
No, I've dealt with guys with curved penises, guys with a little shit to the side. I don't know if it's just his stroke or what, but it's just this.
Maybe he'd be better when he just
that
with the one leg up, with the leg up,
listen,
and just hand on frontal.
That's a
side.
Know your pussy. You gotta know. Honest to God, I have such a good relationship with my vagina that whether I'm doing it myself or whether I'm doing it, with my partner, I'm gonna get there.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm gonna get there. I have such a good relationship with my vagina. I just believe because over time, first of all, shout out to my family, right? Because the women in my family are very big on pussy in general. It's power between them legs, girl, and you need to know not how to use it, but know that yes, because men, that's probably one of the first things they want. So you have to know how to harness the power of your pussy without actually utilizing your pussy. So my grandma was real big on the art of not necessarily seduction, but that damsel in distress type of thing. My aunt very much getting to the money and feeling the power behind her pussy, the power of birth, through your vagina was something that my aunt and I talked about. And it wasn't this holistic conversation. It wasn't oh, this is beautiful, majestic thing. It was girl, listen, this is how you use your, I'm from West Baltimore. We ain't having no majestic conversation. We used to be at cookouts and shit, close your ears, but you can still hear, and as I got older, the conversations would happen. And when I got pregnant really young, it was a conversation that my grandmom had with me in a room with a lot of the older women in my family. And I'm really thankful for that. Yes, I'm very, and it's a very dysfunctional community nonetheless, but I'm really thankful for the fact that I have women who surround me that have common fucking sense. And who have a very good identity of self. I know for sure that there are things that I don't necessarily agree with what they do, but because they're so sure of themselves and who they are as people and who they are, regarding themselves, that any action that they take, they stand on. So I really am proud of the fact that in developing a relationship with my vagina, it was normalized. When I got my first period, we had a party. I had a cake,
a little quinceañera.
Yeah, it was a. I mean, it wasn't a big party, but my mom got me a cake. I was due to stay the night.
It was a rite of passage.
I was due to stay the night over at my cousin's house for her birthday party that weekend, and I remember I had choir rehearsal because I was still going to church at the time. And my mom took me to choir rehearsal and let my cousin know. She was like, "Hey, Christian will be there this weekend, but she did start her cycle, and she made it such a comfortable thing for me. If you want to use the bathroom, that every other girl is using, that's fine. But if you need to use the bathroom in our room or the bathroom in the hallway, that's fine too. Let me know if you mess up your underwear." Because my first actual cycle, I hid my underwear. My very first cycle, although I knew what a cycle was, for some reason it just really didn't register. Yeah. So I was free bleeding almost, and then just hiding my underwear. And my mom found them, and she was freaked out because she was like, "Oh my God,
what is it?
Somebody is
touching
my child." But then I was like, "No, mommy, it happened for 3 days." And she was like, "Christian, you got your period." No. And it was just a whole thing. And then I had to learn how to put.
I didn't learn how to put a tampon. Yeah, no, I saw. I looked over. I was like,
Why?
"Is that the name that I think it is?" Because he on you. Sis.
That's never in heaven or hell.
That's what it is for a lot of guys. I feel like so. I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. He think he got a chance in hell and he don't. But anyway, I did not have that type of experience. I came on my period I lived with my dad at the time. My period came on. Thank God that I have a dad that was just around women all the time. But my mom did come over. She was just like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't really remember it that much, which makes me feel like there's some type of trauma behind it.
Probably.
Probably because it's just like, what the fuck is, like, I know what it is, but it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't really, I didn't really have that big, like, your pussy is power type of talk, because I'm the youngest, so my mom was just like, I'd rather you masturbate than have sex. And I'm just like, well, what does that mean? And then later on down the line, my aunt, she was the one that was just like, when you find the one,
and was she wrong? The one. Was she wrong?
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Was she wrong? In all honesty,
with having sex, I don't feel like I've still found my power with it. Because I was faking it for the longest time. Like, I mean, of course, at 18 or 17 going on 18, of course I'm faking it. Like, what the fuck you think this is? I don't even know. Like, I'm just here to please you. Like, that's what it was when I was giving
I can understand that.
When I was giving the niggas that I was, like,
fuck
in
it. Relationships it was almost like a people pleaser type of thing. Yeah.
So, like, and you was giving me head, and I was coming off of that, and you was coming off of that, and blah, 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 blah. But,
so we rocking.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, okay, you came, like...
Yeah, I think...
But now, as of late, I'm just like...
My first partner was actually a very... He had already lost his virginity, which I feel like was a big help. But he also... I've dealt with some very... Like, I don't want to say... I don't know if intellectual is the right word, but I believe how... Like, some people just wise beyond their years. And there was just this thing about him where I was trying a lot of shit really young. Like... I was like 17 making sex tapes. I was multiple positions, having sex in the shower, being tied up, like all these different things really young. And he really did help. Now, at the same time, was he a little like, when I say predatory, I don't mean in like he was older than me, because he wasn't. We were the same age. But I mean predatory like, in her innocence. In her innocence, I can experiment with her. Yes. And she has very little limits or reserves because she really loves me. So let me bank on that. Never abusive, never like it was, if I told him no, it was no. Great. It was always consensual. But there were things that in my personal opinion, why am I like 16 doing this? Yeah. Like it would be times where we would be like fucking all day and then like smoking blunts afterwards, taking showers together, and like I'm cooking. Why are we playing house? We're 16. That's exactly why I got pregnant so fucking early. Like, we used to be fucking all day. Like, his mom wouldn't be home. I would go up there. We would fuck all day. My aunt's not home. He would come to the house, fuck all day. Like, we would fuck all day long. All day. I think I learned the power of that because he would, like, make me aware of things. Like, do you feel that? Like, do you feel like what you're doing? And I think that's why I'm so big on, like, words of affirmation now, or just, like, talking in general during sex. Like, it takes me somewhere else because my mind is stimulated. And I've always been that, like, needing to be stimulated mentally person to even be remotely engaged or even feel like the conversation's worth having with any fucking body about anything. But sexually, it was brought on very fucking young. And I've just been rocking with it.
I feel like that's how it was when I had friends with benefits.
Yeah.
I wasn't cooking for the nigga, but we were like really in that element of we are friends.
Yeah.
And we just here to have a good time together. Yeah. We would literally like after we would have sex, like we would watch TV, chill, eat, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then we would fuck again, watch TV. And then I'd be like, all right, my mom getting off.
I feel like it has a lot to do with the sex though. Yeah. But again, because in my mind, I also think about the conversations that I had with like the women in my family before these instances where it's like, if a man really likes you, he'll do this, this, and this, you know, like it's past pussy. It's past, you know, the fact that you're fucking him is just like the benefit. It's something he gets to benefit from. I really believe that I learned that like early on because a lot of it, like, yeah, we would spend a lot of time together, but a lot of the benefit was I really like your pussy. So like I will hang out with you all fucking day long if I have to, if it means that I get to dig up in them guts. Like, and I was with it because part of me, like being plus size at the time, I wasn't like stylish. My self-esteem was low. I also was attributing that to like, I really, and don't get me wrong, to this day, like we don't talk. We're not cool. We're cordial because I mean, we have no reason to talk, but we've known of each other this entire time.
No, me and my friends with benefits is still cool. Like I can text him right now.
We don't have
Montebello.
Like we don't have each other's number or anything like that. But
I'm not trying to fuck him no more.
Yeah,
he got a whole daughter.
He like, has this man has a family. Like he's married with kids. Like he's good. But I know for sure that a lot of our dynamic growing up was my self-esteem being low. Sure. And I don't think, like I said, I don't ever think he was predatory about it. I just think that when you're young and a male, you just gonna do what benefits you.
Allowing me to do this,
and so I'm gonna rock with it.
About this, and she's up for it, so why not?
That's why I don't feel like I know sometimes women are like, I feel like I'm owed an apology behind that. I don't feel like, I mean, that because part of that was on me. Like I said, he was never predatory. It was always consensual. Yeah. I just feel like in a very early age, I just learned a lot about like sexuality and sensuality and that like felonious, that really like feline feeling, that like that lioness really early on. And I really feel like it has a lot to do with him because I was fucking him from the time I was 15 all the way through college. Oh, wow. Until we both stopped attending college in our sophomore year. And then we were fucking after the fact. And then I met my partner who that's my partner now. We're together. We have a kid and everything.
Is that the nigga that had that girl give you the
yeah, girl? Same nigga. The amount of toxicity and like problematic shit that happened between him and I, honest to God, had a lot to do with how good the dick was. How good the sex was.
You're not about to go through all that
but we were also really good to each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like if there's something that's truly off, like there has to be like, I think there's like 3 or 2 points to it. Like you said, y'all had a good time together. The sex was great. Yeah. And they were like a decent person in general. If one of those is off, it's kind of like this is really toxic and you would have probably got out of it sooner. Like this nigga is
it just baffles me. Like, why was I doing this at 17?
Sex is great, or he's a great person, but the sex not good, and I can still have conflict. Yeah. Or it's like when it's like not balanced, it's just like it's easier to let go of it quick.
I just don't know why I was doing this shit so young.
Because you were young.
Sometimes I just feel like I was going through adult situations at a very young age for no fucking reason. Because of my pussy. Like thinking with my pussy, leading with my pussy, like
be leading you down, just like their dicks be leading them down some really.
Thinking with my pussy has never gotten me in trouble because I've never cheated. I'm not the cheating type. Like I don't have it in me to cheat. I'm very afraid.
Nobody has time for that. I don't really like when I think about diseases.
That too.
And how people really don't be wanting to like thinking about guys and how. Thinking about how they really don't be wanting to put nothing on. It's just like, you're fucking gross.
I also just think about...
And even if you do, it's kind of like now I got to get used to this other guy. And dealing with one is enough.
I don't know. I thought about it from an aspect of... It was more emotional. It was more emotional for me. Like, I've been cheated on before. I did not like the way that felt.
Same.
So... I never want to return that to somebody. Like that soul, like my soul was crushed. My feelings were really hurt.
For sure.
So I don't ever want to deliver that type of pain to a person, which is more so the reason why I've never cheated. Like in my whole phase, I was getting it. I really was thinking with my pussy. Like I was swiping on Tinder like, he look like a good fuck. He look like a good fuck. He look like a good fuck. And if I got to know you well enough, like to the point where I felt like, God forbid anything happened, I could track this shit back to you. I was giving you my pussy. I was giving that shit up like a soup kitchen. You get some pussy, you get some pussy, you get some pussy. And I realized the lack of discernment that I was having because I started to get so many, not like yeast infections, but just discomfort from using condoms. After having a partner for like 8 years and going raw that entire time. And then you move on to having sex frequently with not necessarily like different people. It was like a different guy like every couple months. But with my vagina was so uncomfortable. Never again. That's another reason why I can't cheat. Like, yes, I'm terrified of disease, but the feeling of your pussy about to fall off, that's a scary. Your lips swelling, just the discomfort when you pee, knowing it's not chlamydia, but it's an allergic reaction. That shit is terrifying. And I listen to my pussy more than I listen to any other part of my body. So when she purring, I'm going for it, you know?
That's where the root is.
Baby.
It's gonna tell you when you're out of place, out of whack.
I used to just feel
unsafe.
I used to feel so safe. Like the dick is the safest place for me to be. On it, around it, in it. Just I needed to be by it.
You be in it.
Sometimes when you fucking back, you just feel like I'm in that shit. Like he can feel me in his hole. Like in his hole. I'm fucking him right now. That's how my pussy be. Like my pussy is such a beautiful place to be. Not that anybody, like outside of the people that I fuck, whatever. It's a really good place to be. I'm just saying. It's like home in there. So like when you get it, you like I don't ever want to leave here.
Is like Southern Comfort.
No, my pussy, fuck a Southern Comfort. My pussy is home. My pussy is like you sign the papers on real estate.
Southern Comfort. Exactly.
No, it's not Southern.
That's where people go to.
It's like a brown. It's like a brownstone in New York. Like it because you like people they frequent it and they look at it and they're like, this is a really nice house. Cause like I'll go get waxes and shit. So they like she really takes a really good care of the outside of her home.
But only certain.
I bet you it's pricey as fuck in there, and then you get inside. I can't even afford this.
Gentrified.
It's very gentrified brownstone pussy. I promise. That is the name of this episode. Gentrified brownstone pussy. I promise you, it's a good time in here. It's a really good time. Gentrified.
I feel like mine is a good time, but I'm still at that point where I'm still trying to get out of. What would you like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes
I literally.
You about to say something wild. You about to say something wild.
Sometimes I feel like I'm on the verge of being asexual because I be like.
Okay, explain it to me. What is that? What is asexuality? I'm trying to.
Like, I'm not like sexually like.
Aroused
by anything.
Not even like intelligence?
Intelligence is always sexy. I don't even feel like that should be.
Not like a sapiosexual type of thing. You're more of a. You like, listen, it ain't really too much you could do to get this wheel cranking. Do you think that's like.
I mean, it is, but.
Is it suppression?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Do you feel like
when I have an emotional tie with somebody, that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay. So you might be a sapiosexual
to the point where I'm just like, I really have to like it has to be more than looks.
You can never have a whole phase.
We've talked about this before. It has to be more than looks because the minute you say something dumb as hell, like we say dumb stuff all the time, but once you really
talk yourself out the pussy,
dumb shit, I be like,
yeah. Now I'm no longer. Not only am I not turned on, but there's not a chance in hell of me ever giving this to you. Like not even in the long run.
That's what my pussy be looking like.
It just close shop. The close sign is outside. Not even away at lunch. We just shut down for the day. We having technical difficulties. Tech get that feeling. I don't know nothing about it. I told you I fucked that man I met at the gas station that night. If you listen.
I feel like that. Like
you feel like it. I acted on it.
Because we've also talked about how I'm emotional, so I just be like, I feel like I'm gonna get attached.
I'm emotionless. I was like, thanks. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave.
And I know that I could push that to the side because I've had friends with benefits before, so I'm just like, you can.
I think there's a difference though between a friends with benefits and a not even a one night stand. So I don't know what you call
I'm not
it.
Even friends with this nigga. I'm just no.
I know you. Like you're a fuck buddy. You're somebody who I fuck. You're not even a buddy. We don't sit here and have conversations after this. I text you because it's 11:30 and I'm horny, and I say you up, and you say yeah. I slide through. I take my pants off. We fuck. I put my pants back on. I'm like, all right. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, no.
That's honest to God. That is how I got through my whole phase. I was on a run. Like it was very easy for me to get in and get out. Honestly, I think I was so jaded. I was very hurt from my previous relationship that I was on this almost like a villain. I was on tour. Like I just was on this villainous tour of, and it wasn't like I was giving like bare minimum pussy. I was giving that shit. I was giving it all. Like I was riding dick, letting them pull my hair, letting them talk to me crazy, slap me around, like all types of shit. And I was really very much enjoying it.
Of that, but I didn't want to fuck with no niggas, so it was just like
I just left afterwards. Like we could have I had some wild ass nights, and I would literally put my pants on afterwards and be like, all right, I see you, yo. And he like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, where's your heart? It's gone. It's cold.
You would do this shit to me.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that after going through what I went through in my relationship at the time, I think that I was just trying to get my lick back. For sure. I do. I think a lot of that. I don't believe that. Although my whole phase was entertaining, and I won't say that it wasn't fun, I could have done without everybody that I accumulated during my whole phase. There was nothing about any of those niggas that was remotely like father worthy, partner worthy. None of it. There was not none of them niggas. Sorry to you if you not sorry but like if you hear this, it wasn't special. It wasn't worth it. None of these niggas was worth it. And none of these niggas was worth my pussy. None of these niggas worth the time, the effort. And like I said, like whether I was sucking dick, riding dick, whatever the case may be, I was doing it because I really wanted to do it. I wanted to fuck. I wanted to be there. And I wanted to fuck these niggas' lives up. Like I was riding dick in ways that I hadn't ridden dick in my relationship. Like really. Put this foot behind my... To the point where niggas was texting me the next morning like, good morning. And I'm like, the fuck are you texting me for? Like, you know what this is. You know that this is just an 11:30 at night type of thing. At one point, I had to tell somebody that. Like, he had planned a whole night. Like, bought flowers and all kinds of shit. And when I got there, I was like, what do you think this is? Like, got to the hotel room, like, what are you doing? Oh, I just want to do something nice for you. Take this shit down. Like, I didn't tell him that. Like, but I was just like, oh, okay, thanks. Turned off afterwards. Because talk to that nigga again. No, I talked to him afterwards because he was paying my cell phone bill. But it was that was it. Once my partner and I got back together, even before then, maybe like because I hadn't fucked anybody maybe 90 days before him and I got back together because I wanted to make sure that this is what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So even at a point, him and I weren't fucking. Mm-hmm. It was just like, I don't like any of you niggas. I don't like y'all. My pussy don't even really like you. You just a body. You just dick. And that's all they were. It wasn't worth it. And I could have done without the mouths. You know, like I could have done without. I just could have done without, but because I was thinking with my pussy, they were someone to do. And I'm not ashamed of it at all. I don't have any shame behind it or any type of embarrassment or anything like that. I just honest to God believe that, and I feel like every woman goes through it. That was the exploration that I needed because I also learned like what I liked, what I didn't like, what I liked about men, what I didn't like about men, what I liked about my body, what I didn't like. Because, you know, there were still things that I was self-conscious about. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, I just kind of cleared my mind and rocked with it because I'm here. Like, this what I signed up for. Again, I've never been through the situation of like, oh, you're not trying to give me this pussy. Like, I'm going to take it. I've never been through that. Every time that I've put myself in those situations, I've been the upper hand and I've milked it. And maybe I owe some of them niggas an apology. I don't know. Maybe they felt like this bitch really taking advantage of my body right now. Like,
you said it before.
Like, I was milking niggas.
The villain in...
Oh, I know some niggas out here right now who be punching the fucking air when they see my picture. Like, I hate this fat bitch. This big back bitch. She ruined my life. Definitely. Oh, this is a problem. And I think this is just dick riding. Yeah, I think it's just like dick riding. Because what are you doing?
Because we want to come up.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
I'm going to say you.
It's a clout, come up. But it's a clout chase for what reason when you have your own reputation? You don't need me. You don't. That's weird to me. I can't wait to show my boyfriend when I get home. The fuck is wrong with you? What non-sexual experiences please you?
When somebody takes interest in the things that I like.
Okay. So like, what's one of those things? Like, what is the situation, if you can recall one, or if you have like this ideal thing, because we all are a little bit delusional, where you're like, in the event that this happened or because this happened, I immediately gave up the games. Immediately. Even if it sounds shallow. I really
feel like I'm a simple ass person. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I am.
So it's like anything that has to do with like dates, plan something.
Yeah.
As the opposite sex.
Yeah. As the
opposite sex.
Yeah.
Plan something.
And I'm gonna give it up.
I'm going to bust it wide the fuck
you open, ain't seen
because I ain't never.
Want to see a magic?
I've only had that maybe like a couple times, and I'm just like,
yeah. No, I think the acts of service is a thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like
I think for women in general,
is touch. Oh,
in general,
that's it then. A good ass hug.
You know the hugs that get me.
Hug.
You know the hugs that get me.
When I ain't seen somebody in a long time, and they just be like, and they like give the little
In the back. That, or if you come from behind me and like so sometimes. She said, I'm excited. She said, my little. Oh, shit.
That really be it. Like, once you, like, give me, like, one of those, like, bear hugs, and I feel, like, encased in your warmth, I just feel it's so curtains. Protected.
It's curtains.
It's the protection part, probably, but also, like,
you know what
you are genuinely sharing this moment with me, and you care about me. You must care about me, because what the fuck? Like, you ain't letting up. Like, I'm, like, maybe like letting you go and you still you know what it is. Why do you want to hold me like
and I know it's not
that's wild.
It's not a sexual route, but because we grew up with dads. Yes, that's what it is. Because listen, for any woman, I'm getting kind of philosophical,
it sounds kind of weird when you
any
say
woman
it like
who has grown up with a dad in her life,
when you feel it is a difference by a man.
It's the way that a man
it's
provides.
Very Sigmund Freudish.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Ooh,
sorry. That's very awkward.
But no, it's that's honest. It's true.
It's a philosophical and psychological thing. Like, once you had a male figure in your life that protected you at all costs and cared about you and provided
you can't even talk.
You
can't even provide cared
it for you.
Listen,
and you get that from somebody that's not your dad. I'm never leaving.
That's how I knew. When I tell you I knew my man was my man, my car broke down, right? I had this 07. My battery was fucked up. Mm-hmm. And we weren't even together at the time. This is the time we were separated or broken up. I was at work. My car was fucked up. And he was like, I'm out front. He called my phone like, I'm out front putting the battery in your car. Oh. Replacing the battery. I came outside and he gave me this like little like letter or whatever. And he was like, I replaced the battery in your car. Something like had like wasn't lunch money or no shit like that. It was just like all the shit he had done. He popped the trunk. Listen, because he had my spare key. Oh, okay. This is my baby father. Like you
said this before y'all got back together.
When I tell you my baby father was my best friend,
he was there.
My boyfriend, he's my baby father, my boyfriend, my everything. Like when I tell you he's my nigga without being my nigga, even when he wasn't my nigga, yes, absolutely. He has changed the battery in my car. One time my fucking windshield wipers stopped working right on my vehicle. Had just picked our kid up from school. He was, even if it's days where this nigga don't even be off, he was like
coming to rescue my family.
Hop in my car, you drive my car back, and I'm gonna drive your car to the house. It's raining and my windshield wipers wasn't working, and he made it back to the house before me. Parked my shit just fine, went to the store, got the shit, literally replaced it, realized that part didn't work, and put my car in the shop and paid $800 for the motor, only for me to turn around a month later and buy a car. Every time
to her man.
Every time. Thank you to my man. Listen.
To her man.
Every fucking time. There's no man outside of my partner, my dad, and my grandfathers that has ever, prime example, totally left, but prime example of why I had the one night stand that I did, because the tire was flat. We pulled in to get air before we went to dinner. Mm-hmm. These motherfuckers stopped and was like, we got you. Kitty was like, if he wanted tonight, he's getting it. And he came correct the entire time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, let me not say out of everybody in my whole that's the one body, and that's the one night stand. That's unfortunate. We never talked after that. But that's the one body where I honestly felt like it was because of his provision that I was like, I could get his pussy up, because they didn't have to stop. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like they were like following us or no shit like that. They were already at the gas station. We pulled in. We already giggling because we was high. Like we making noise. Like we let music loud. But when they pulled up in front of us, it wasn't no weird shit. They ain't hop out the car like, fuck your dumb ass doing most Baltimore niggas. It wasn't that. When he hopped out the car, he was like, yo, it's raining. Get in the car. I got you. And that's when he got out of the car. His homeboy is the one who helped my homegirl out. Mm-hmm. But when the guy that I slept with got out of the car, he was like, why you ain't help your homegirl? And I was like, because somebody got to read the, like the little air shit. And he was like, we got you, yo. Like, get in the car. And after they finished, it came over to the side of the car. And he was just so correct. Like, the way that he approached it was like, what y'all doing after this? Blah, blah, blah. Put my number in your phone. And when he was texting me, it's not like, oh, I'm going to see you a little sexy ass later. It was like, how's dinner going? And I, like, it was just.
He was like, because I'm trying to
It was a different. And it literally. And here I go at the end of the fucking dinner. I'm texting him like, like, hey, y'all busy? He like, nah, if you going to slide through, like, here the address. We were too eager to get there because of the provision. Because she grew up with a dad. So we in the car talking about, like, these niggas hopped out on, like, it. That's how one, the bar is in hell. But two.
No. The point of all this is come correct. It don't take much.
Come correct.
And I know a lot of guys be like, well, it's like I can't even talk to women because you're the nigga that we don't want to talk to. Because any nigga that really comes correct and knows how to fucking approach is not the guy on Instagram, Twitter, or any of that shit talking about these women don't want to. Bitch, read a book, bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a bitch ass nigga worrying about some goddamn, cause she don't want me to approach her like that and da 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 da. And
but
I gotta
most
do
men
all of
know
this.
the approach. That's what confuses me. A man, and I think that's the difference. I can't say like between men and boys, whatever.
You
Fuck
be
that.
listening?
But a real man, one, doesn't have game, right? He's not sitting at home thinking like, how I'm gonna approach women. It's so normal for him to just be like, hey, my name is.
You're a friendly ass nigga.
You in the you in the store. You see she's struggling with the waters. You helping her with the water. You see her pumping the gas. Let me help you with that. You see her walking towards a door. And you open it and you hold it. And then she gets to the second door and you go, don't touch that. All the time. I love to hear it. Don't put your fucking hand on that door. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. Because I don't have to think. I don't have to try to survive in this space because I know I can turn my brain off for a second because you got me. That's the best fucking feeling in the world. Thing. That's why I'm riding dick ass first because you got this.
Ass first?
You treating me like a queen.
What is ass first?
Niggas, because I'm greeting you with the ass. Like, listen, I'm riding dick. Reverse cowgirl, but the butt cheeks is spread wide open and all you see is asshole. That's how we doing it. That's because you deserve it. You provide. The least I can do. Men are a good man. And I hate to use that term, but a good man is so simple. Fuck him, feed him, and love him. That's it.
True.
And they will do everything else. They have no problem with working 53 million hours in a fucking week to provide for their household because it's always a hot meal. That pussy always hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza. And you've taken the need for him to think about certain shit out of the matter. So all he got to do is go to work and he knows it's a hot meal when he get home. He good. He know that when he get home, that pussy is disease free and he can hit that raw, bust up in it if he want. Like men are so fucking simple. They're so simple. That's why when women say like, when women say I can't find a good man, I'm like, you're just not a good woman.
You're doing too much.
You can't be. It's not hard. And when I say you're not a good woman, it's not to say that you probably don't have all the attributes you need to be a great woman. You're looking for love in the wrong fucking spaces because the niggas that you're attracted to are not attracted to you. And that's usually how it goes. And vice versa. Those same men who want a good woman because they're good men find the most jaded fucking individuals and they start rocking with them because they are too busy trying to find somebody to nurture or to care for. I'm not. This not build a bitch. Not over here.
I'm not saying like that, but it's just like we're all at the end of the day trying to love.
I'm not. That was never my intention.
You already found.
But from the jump, I never thought. And again, that's my low self-esteem. I never thought I would ever be in a relationship. I knew that I was always a good person. I always knew. I never intended to lose my virginity, and it was deeply rooted in low self-esteem. Never thought anybody would ever want to have sex with me. Anybody would want to date me. Anybody would want to look at me. I had acne growing up. I was weird. I had like a vitamin D deficiency, so I'm always fucking tired. Like it was little things about me. The way I wore my hair. I was such a tomboy.
You didn't love nobody because of that.
I didn't want to.
It's just like
I was so turned off by myself because I was turned off by myself. So it was like, if I don't like me, how can I expect you to like me? And I was always so affirmed growing up that I don't know why my self-esteem was so low. I really don't know. I don't know if it was because being fat was so like cliche back. I mean, it's still to this day a fucking problem for everybody, but I've grown to not give a fuck. Back then, I really gave a fuck about how people saw me, and I've always dated smaller men. My partner is smaller than me. Like that's how it's always been.
When I saw him, I was like,
very tiny man.
Really is
Very tiny men. And be busting these walls down. Like a war on the Great Wall of China. You hear me?
I love it for you.
I live for it. This morning, I'm not even going to tell you, but we'll talk about that off. It's a very wet situation.
Them walls down.
Baby, like a construction site. You hear me?
I love it for you.
Demolition.
To her man.
Thank you to my man. Listen. And I don't care if you get tired of hearing it. You're going to always hear it. Because it's going to always be him. So, don't know what to tell you. What turned you off? What blocks your sacral chakra?
When niggas be stinking.
Yeah, I don't like
if I'm like hygiene. I'm hot and ready like a little Caesar
and you
pizza,
stink,
and then I smell something, I'll be like,
I don't like the assumption that you're gonna get the pussy, even in a relationship. Like sometimes I'm
only talking about. Well, no, I'm not only talking about in a relationship. If you stink before I even fucking take my clothes off, what the fuck? I'm gonna be like, hi.
I don't like it.
Have a nice night. Keep it moving. But in a relationship, I think because acts of service has moved up a little bit in my love languages, if I ask you to do something and you don't do it the way that not the way that I want you to do it.
No, you got it. No, I know the way, and I know exactly what you mean.
In the time frame.
Yes. If I tell you, can you do this?
Because
and you wait.
When you ask me to do stuff and I be with the quickness with it and you slow drag and I'm not watching your every move, but I know your daily agenda.
Don't walk past what I asked you to do either. It's right there and you walk right past.
Throw this shit at you, bro.
Now, I just do it. I'd be like, no, don't even worry about it.
No. I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm not about to keep repeating myself, but I'm also not about to do it for you because I've done that shit too many times, and I'm not your fucking mother.
Do you use no pussy as kind of like a consequence?
No, okay. I don't. I used to throw that shit back even with the dirty dishes.
I know some women who use. I know some married women too who use not giving up pussy as a consequence. Not because
I'm afraid that you're gonna get it from somewhere else, but it's just like because I want to have sex too. Like why am I making myself?
I don't know. Sometimes I'd be so fucking agitated at the fact as though he didn't do something that like he'd be on top of me and I'd be like, look at that fucking peasy head. Like all the fuck I actually do is to clean the cat litter and you just giving it to you just in these fucking guts. Cat litter's still dirty.
I hope you get the cat litter after you finish.
No, because that's what I'm talking about, the power of the pussy. Why he fucking me? I'd be like, can you please get the cat litter? Like when you done digging in these guts, daddy, can you get the cat litter? And he'd be like, I got you, baby.
And then do it right
and it's done. Simple
things.
It should be. That's how he get me to cook sometimes. Digging in the guts.
Those be the best meals.
I be downstairs making that shit with love. Till he getting popped by bacon grease.
Cooking in the kitchen.
I be whipping that shit.
What turns you off? What fucks up your sacral chakra?
Assumption that you're gonna get the pussy. Oh, okay. Relationship or not, just that eagerness.
When I come in the house,
I don't like an eager fuck. Like you taking my clothes. I don't know what it is about people touching me. Mm-hmm. If I don't want to be touched, don't fucking touch me. And like if I'm not, first of all, I'm very sensitive in like my nipple area. So you can't just walk up to me and pinch my nipple in a time where I wasn't due to be aroused because now I'm irritated.
Like it's done the opposite.
It's like, done the total opposite. This
is
an invasion of my privacy.
And in all honesty, if I was in the mood and you did it, I'd be like, okay, cool.
But now
if I'm like already like you gotta.
Sometimes I bump my nipple across my nipples are huge. So like sometimes I like sweep past the door or something and get pissed off.
Yeah.
I get pissed off.
Sensory overload.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a sensory overload. And I hate the way it feels. I am disgusted by the way it feels. I know for a fact that I have ADHD.
I was about to say, I didn't want to attribute it to the ADHD.
No, I know for sure.
But a lot of people with ADHD or autism,
I might be autistic. ADHD. We got all DHD. That's what we got.
I want to get checked for autism next, but because I'm like, I'm
trying to
my social cues really don't be on. And I be like,
I also want to get checked because I heard there's some checks behind this shit.
Why you ain't tell me? I already got my diagnosis.
I need some disability checks. You can get a disability check for being on the spectrum, and all you got to do is be on the spectrum. You ain't got to be like nonverbal or They will give you, I think it's like $173 a month. If you didn't know that, now you know. Check your local state laws and talk to your Social Security department about what type of benefits do you qualify for.
They give you accommodations at work.
You get a handicap sticker, a permanent handicap sticker.
If you need a sit to stand desk, if you need one of those bouncy chairs,
all types of ergonomics,
like different type of stuff. I do need to get one of those different type of mice. Not the one that go like this, but like have your hand like that. Because my wrist, how am I working IT and I can't fix shit because my wrist hurt?
Not you got carpal tunnel. It's like that though. But if you didn't know that, that was a weird, odd sidebar. However, yes, you can.
That's what you come here for.
If you
for the little tips and
for the gyms, get you some fucking get you a check.
You ready to talk more about the sacral chakra? I feel like that's really
If y'all didn't know, first of all, hi y'all.
She's them chakras.
I am a chakra practitioner. So
what does that mean?
So a chakra practitioner is somebody who is almost like a Reiki therapist. If you guys don't know what a Reiki is, they deal with the 7 energy points of the body. So it starts in what is called like the section between your anus and your vagina is your first chakra, all the way up to the crown of your head, which is your 7th. So yeah, there's 7 energy points in the body. Your 6th chakra is your sacral chakra, which is, if you take your fingers and you put them below your navel, that's where your sacral chakra is. That's your pleasure point. So your pleasures, your desires, your creativity, your youth, all of those different things. That's your sacral chakra area. So if you find yourself not being creative or not having any creative energy, and it's not saying that you, you don't have to podcast, but people who like to color or even being outside of nature is a form of creativity, right? Creating things with your hands, your mind, music, whatever. That's your sacral chakra. Your inner child, that's your sacral, eating ice cream in the middle of the day, just little things to entertain that part of you is your sacral chakra. That is also your pleasure zone. So like sexuality, desires, manifestation through masturbation, all those things happen in your sacral chakra. So if you find yourself hypersexual or hypo, which means a delay in, I would definitely recommend that you do some type of therapy, whether it be talking to an actual therapist about maybe trauma or things that you've experienced with your sacral chakra, or, your sexuality in general, especially my people in the LGBTQIA community. There are things that are, have probably been suppressed, especially my transgendered, family and folks. That is a huge chakra. It's a huge impression on your sacral chakra. So talking to your doctor, women who are getting constant BV yeast infections, that's a sacral chakra thing. People who have no pleasure points, right? No desires, don't get turned on at all. That's a sacral chakra thing. There's questions and things that, are created for these moments. Do some shadow work behind it. Follow me again, DEMCHAKRIS. I host events, simply dealing with chakras. If you guys have questions, definitely, let me know. One of the best books to read to talk about your sacral chakra is Chakras for Healing. It's on Amazon. Shout out to whoever the fuck wrote it. It's a very simple book, very remedial, very colorful. It teaches you about crystal stones, exercises, meditations, all that shit. But it is a very like baseline, simple chakra for dummies type of book. Mm-hmm. So, but I highly recommend, like, if you find yourself always fucking, like every time you turn around it's like I gotta fuck something, whether it be yourself, whatever, get that checked out. If you find that you're just not turned on at all by anything, and I don't mean necessarily
it's not because of a medication, because
it's life in general is whooping your ass, you need to check in on why that's happening, because it has something to do with something.
Because those damn SSRIs will fuck your shit up.
110%. Women on birth control, women on birth control, get that shit checked out. Mm-hmm. Women who have just recently had babies. My men with erectile dysfunction, it is a sacral chakra issue. It's a sacral chakra issue. It's your root chakra. If you broke, and I mean that with the most love, like if you don't have no fucking money, it's your root chakra.
Because that's the protection.
But if you find yourself with like a erectile dysfunction, like you're just not turned on by people anymore, like women don't excite you, really deal with like your pleasure points, your desires, the things that turn you on and off, and figure out why all the partners you're choosing are just not doing it for you. So that's my little chakra tangent.
What's the difference between a chakra practitioner and a Reiki practitioner?
Most Reiki therapists deal with energy transfer, so like transmuting the energy in order to heal it. I have a Reiki certification. I don't like doing Reiki because I'm an empathetic person. So even in feeling it and sometimes in having conversation afterwards, when people tell me about their trauma, I'd really be sad as fuck. Aww. Like very concerned for my, like they call them patients, very concerned for my patients and just all of that, which is why I don't use it. I've done maybe like 1 or 2 sessions with people and I'm like, this is heavy as fuck. My mom wanted me to do it for her, but like knowing the things that she's been through, I'm not doing that. Like being your daughter, the shit I'm about to take on, no.
Angie be having to take breaks too.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing it. As a chakra practitioner, you're just more so an educator. So you know about your chakras, but you're not really touching on people. People can tell you like, oh, I'm having this problem. You're like, oh, it's this chakra. So just being more of an enthusiast.
If you would like to get Reiki, hit up Sacred Space Be More.
We'll put her information right here.
Get in contact with Angie. She is a bomb ass Reiki practitioner, and she said if you feel bad because you fell asleep on the table 1 or 2 times, that's what they like because they are able to move your
energy around easier when you're asleep,
because you're not like restraining or like hesitant within your own self.
And if Angie's books are booked, because she is also a business owner, check out Maureen at Misan Wellness or Misan Wellness. She's amazing. She's my massage therapist, but she has a lot of holistic.
Does she do like the chakra massage?
I don't know if she does them anymore. But she was doing them when she was up in Catonsville. Her office has recently moved. But I swear by her.
I need to go to her for one of those.
The way that she rub on you, I'd be like...
I listened to a podcast and the massage therapist, she talked about all the chakras and, you know, if you're feeling like this or if you've been through this, then this is why your neck hurts or this, that, and the third. And I was like, I need to get the fuck up in there.
I know that with my anxiety, I shift my weight more to one side and I stick my neck out like this when I'm standing still. Yeah. And it's just something that I've noticed over time. I'm dealing with it. There are like different exercises and things that I'm using, but my sacral chakra has never really been like a thing. I knew that I was having a sacral chakra issue during my whole phase when shit just was going awry. And like
Pound Town, Pound Town.
And I was so tired of it. I was like, I don't want to go to Pound Town anymore. I want to stay out of the zip code. I don't like this. I don't like Pound Town. Pound Town feels horrible.
Just left Pound Town.
I was doing my best to not be there anymore, but that's why I stopped fucking after a while, because I was just like, I'm getting tired of this feeling. It just doesn't feel good. I say all that to say, you ready to get into them topics?
How long have we been recording?
Girl, I don't know. Rock out. Sometimes they deserve a longer episode. Y'all like it long? You like it long?
I think an hour and a half.
You like it?
How about
we
end this episode and then get into the topics in the next one?
Okay. This, like, you want this to be a whole separate episode?
Yep. I think it's enough. And we can chip into our other little list that we got.
That'll work.
All right. So you just listen to Jaded and Evolving. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you were triggered by, you know, the triggering stuff, like the truly triggering stuff, we're not here to trigger you under any circumstances. Yeah. We're just here to tell our truths. If you were triggered because I called you a bitch ass nigga,
seek help.
Bitch ass nigga, I don't
seek help. If the shoe fit, get it in both colors.
Because I've learned to not take so much on from like what people be saying and shit. I'd be like,
if you're offended by
but I really don't.
But if you're offended by somebody else's projections, that means that there's some truth to it. So, in that,
because I don't ever get upset when people be fat phobic on the internet. I'd be like, okay,
this big bag still get bent over. So I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about Nathaniards. You hoes ain't talking about Nathaniards. Nathaniards. Make sure you follow us on social media, Jaded Evolving or Jaded and Evolving. It's all right here. I don't know why Natasha thinks I'm fucking hilarious. You never seen the TikTok where he was like, he said, I can't stand when a hoe be talking shit and I can't get to her because you hoes don't be talking about Nathaniards. You hoes don't be talking about Nathan. Girl, he is my favorite.
Is that when they were doing they going Shanann once, they going
No. This is recent. Because he's the same person that be like, what y'all hoes in here talking about? Y'all hoes ain't talking about nothing. Miss Stinking here. He's my favorite.
Shout out to him.
Between him.
Follow her at DMCHAKR.
Our ADHD and this tequila is whooping out.
And you can follow me at Natasha Soul _. You can follow us at all our different places at Jaded Evolving or Jaded and Evolving.
Just look at the links. It's in there.
I'm a edit the fuck out of this bitch. Bye. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your week.